Hello, everybody. Welcome to MTG Place, your podcast and your place for all things magic. With me today is Josh. How's it going, Josh?
What's up, everybody?
All right, so today we are going to do some magic news and some finance, and then we're going to get into the red cards from Duskmourn. Before we do all that, the main topic today here is, the main sponsor here today is Ironguard Supplies. We love their sleeves, top loaders, and accessories. Get 20% off at ironguardsupplies.com using coupon code MTG Place.
Thank you, Ironguard.
All right, so some magic news. We got Foundations pre-releases like this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also announced that half of all Magic sets are going to be Universes Beyond. So we're going to get a set every 2 years, and Universes
Two out of the four.
Standard legal every 2 months.
Yeah.
6 a year. Every Universes Beyond is going to be standard legal. Foundations will be standard legal for 5 years. And then there was some controversy with the Secret Lair Marvel dropped today, and it was sold out in like an hour, and nobody could get it.
Hey, we heard about that, though. You listened to us before. We told you Marvel would sell out. They warned us. So.
All right, so moving into the finance section, we got Archfiend of the Dross went up 239% to $5. Demons of the Rage again in Commander, apparently.
Archfiend of Dross. Hold up.
Also standard and Pioneer Demons.
Yeah. This guy was a boss in the World Tournament. This was standard legal.
Okay, so March of the Machine is still, or one case.
Yeah. This was number one player. I don't know if I want to spoil it, but he was in the first number one deck. The winner of this year Worlds.
All right, cool. And then Molineer Stormhammer has spiked again. I don't know why, but it's from the Assassin's Creed set.
Captain America.
Oh, does it work good with Captain America?
Yeah. It's the first equipment deck that has blue in it, so people are like getting hyped.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. If we can get Captain America.
Yeah, I mean, right now on the secondary market, he's $55.
That's crazy.
But we were thinking that Molineer is just going to get reprinted in the Marvel set, so I don't know, maybe wait for Spider-Man to come out. It might get there as Thor's hammer.
Well, the way that they said it now is like they're basically breaking down Marvel into a bunch of sets.
Mm-hmm.
So it's only going to be the Spider-Man verse, so maybe they'll do like just a Marvel Thor set and it'll be in there.
Okay. Yeah.
Because does Thor come into a Spider-Man episode in the comics? I have no idea. Probably. But
it's the Spider multiverse. Of course there was a time where Thor came in.
Yeah.
Multiverse.
And then we got the Blade of the Blood Chief is spiked again. Edgar Markov is being reprinted in Innistrad Remastered.
Mm-hmm.
So people want this for their Edgar decks. I have it in my Edgar deck.
Oh, I guess it combos with Basking Brew skills. Sure, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
All right. Now we're going to see if Josh is good at guessing cards.
Oh, boy.
So let's see. This week we are on Mirage, it looks like, because we did Alliances last week. So are you going to know the top 5 cards from Mirage?
Well, the easiest one is Lion's Eye Diamond. That's a given.
That's number one, $480.
Oh, yeah, that's a given. What are the cards? Thinking that there's Flash, but I don't know if that's expensive. Is Flash in the top 5?
It is not.
It's not in the top 5. There's that green enchantment, something of Gemstone, Hall of Gemstones. Is that?
That's number 10.
It's number 10. Oh, man. Okay, what else is in Mirage that I know of? It's a pretty dope set that I remember, but I don't know what specific cards are in there.
Well, one of them is a 12/12.
Oh, Phyrexian Dreadnought.
Yep,
One.
that's $170.
Yeah, yep, yep. Reserve list. Let's
Then
see.
it's a card played in Vintage Cube.
I should know it. I mean, it's not Flash. It's not LED. It's a
It's a black card.
black card.
It's played in Legacy as well,
It's
sometimes.
not Snuff Out. Is it Snuff Out? No.
No, it's a Reanimator card.
Oh, Shallow Grave is that?
Yeah, Shallow Grave, that was 40
Wow.
bucks.
Okay, I haven't looked at the set for Shallow Grave, but that's awesome. All right, give me another clue for the final one.
Well, the fourth one here
Oh,
is a
oh yeah,
3 mana World Enchantment.
3 mana Nether Void.
No, it's black.
So it's Nether Void.
Okay, well, I don't know if Nether Void's black, but not
Uh,
Nether Void.
I don't know.
It's got to be because of Commander, because like I've honestly never even seen this card before.
Okay, what is this card?
It's Forsaken Wastes.
Oh yeah, I have no idea what that
Players
is.
can't gain life. During each player's upkeep, they lose a life. And if Forsaken Waste is the target of a spell, that spell's caster loses 5 life.
That's pretty bad.
So it's like a 3 mana drain everyone for 1 every single turn, and nobody can gain life.
Is the new Valgavoth, like the red black one, care about people losing life? So I think that's just
Maybe that's why, I don't know.
card.
Let's see. The fifth one here is a card that has been reprinted a bunch. It's a take an extra turn spell.
Take an extra turn spell. It's not.
That's not blue.
That's, okay. Oh, Final Fortune. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That is Mirage, isn't that?
Yeah,
That's
so
nice.
that's $35.
Okay.
Then Enlightened Tutor and Worldly Tutor after that.
Those are in there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dude, now I'm like, I don't look at like the set symbol for those cards, which is the weirdest thing. Like I should have known that. All right. Hey, I got one.
Yeah.
And I knew a couple in the top 10. But I was
All right. Well, what's our first card here for this red review?
For red, we got Chainsaw. For 1 in red, artifact equipment. When it enters, deals 3 damage up to 1 target creature. Then whenever 1 or more creatures dies, you put a rev counter on it. Equipped creature gets plus X plus O, where X is the number of rev counters on Chainsaw. Equipped for 3. So as a sorcery speed removal spell, it's pretty decent. Then with some upside a little bit later, seems interesting. I've seen
Yeah.
it in LSV's Vintage Cube. It hasn't really performed too well, but as an artifact,
I don't think it's good enough for Vintage Cube. It's definitely decent in Limited because like 2 mana deal 3 is just
Yeah.
good enough.
removal's removal. Always key and limited.
Yeah, and then like it just occasionally picks up. Once it gets like 3 counters or something, then it's like okay, +3 +0 to whatever's in play. Can make your 1/1s threats.
Yeah, I can see it kind of popping off in Commander too, where like whenever 1 or more creatures die, you just have 2 more players that creatures can die. So
Yeah, it also just triggers on each instance. So if you have like a sacrifice deck, aristocrats, you could just keep sacking 1 at a time and getting a bunch of counters on this thing.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. 1 or more, so a board wipe's not going to count all of that.
Right. Pretty good.
Solid.
Next up, we got FOMO, the fear of missing out, which is a 2 mana 2/3 enchantment creature nightmare. When it enters, you discard a card, then draw a card. And then whenever it attacks for the first time each turn, if you have Delirium, you untap target creature, and after this phase, there is an additional combat phase. So 2 mana card that can double you, give you an extra combat.
Mm-hmm. I don't really know about that part. I mean, it untaps 1 creature only, but I saw this in like limited. This is just kind of nuts having a 2 mana enchantment synergies, but just being able to discard, draw a card like loot while getting a body out is
Yeah,
solid
it's
enough.
also insane if you have any sort of attack trigger card that can attack again.
Yeah.
So if you hit like the what is it, the red overlord or any of the overlords, but the red one especially deals
Sure.
4 damage. Like
Yeah. Sure.
hit do that twice.
Yeah.
It's like a better Inferno Titan.
Oh god. Yep. Yeah. I don't see it outside of limited, but like very very bomb. You want to pick this up for sure. We got the Razorkin Needlehead, red for a 2/2 human assassin. Has first strike during your turn. Whenever opponent draws a card, it deals 1 damage to them.
So I
This,
think this is
yep.
actually pretty good, especially for like Nekusar decks.
Yeah. This is more a commander card. It's decent and limited, I would think, but
Yeah, it's okay. It's not.
yeah, very okay. But like in Nekusar Slam Dunk, yeah, this is you have only like maybe 8 pieces that do this,
Yeah,
and just having another one is just
it's
what
like
you
a
want.
mini. Like I mean, Shieldred does too, but that costs
Yep.
4 mana. This is you could play on turn 2.
Fieldred, Underworld Dreams, just like there's other cards like it, but like I said, there's probably like 8, and you want a good, consistent, lots of them.
Yeah.
So
Next up, we got the Screaming Nemesis. It is 2 and a red for a 3/3 haste creature spirit. Whenever it is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any other target, and if a player is dealt damage this way, they can't gain life for the rest of the game.
yeah,
So you can
this
stop
had
people from gaining life.
yeah, that part's just kind of incidentally funny. I think 3 mana 3/3 haste. This one guy got top 8 in worlds with this just as a mono red deck. Like everyone was running the normal decks, the Gruul Prowess, the like
Mm.
blue black like fairy stuff, but this guy just took a mono red list, slammed this guy. Whenever he could slam this down, he was like winning that game. Like it was pretty insane and hilarious. Someone brought mono red to the worlds and got so far.
Well, mono red always does good, but that's what I was about to ask. Is like, you think it's good enough for like modern or legacy burn, where Goblin Guide and that has been the
Yeah, yeah.
thing.
3/3 haste is very very nice, and then if you just have to block it, it just deals more damage. So I think it might find a
Definitely, I definitely think standard burn's gonna be better because there's another like foundations card that's basically a better lava spike being printed.
yeah
So
yeah.
I think
So
burn's gonna be around for a while. Red deck wins will be a thing forever.
mhm. Yeah, with this card in there, lots of more burn spells, shock, lightning strike. Standards in for a heck of a time. We got the Roller Crusher Ride, X2 red for the legendary enchantment. Looks like a artifact. I don't know why. It's got Delirium. If a source you control would deal non-combat damage to a permanent or player while there are 4 more card types in your graveyard, it deals double that damage instead. Then when it enters, it deals X damage to each of to X target creatures.
Yeah, this card is just freaking nuts. At least in limited. I would
Sure.
assume it's even good. I don't know if it's good enough for Vintage Cube or not, but if you can get Delirium easily, then it's even more insane. Because I mean,
Yeah.
like if you pay like if you pay 6 for this, you're doing 3 damage to 3 creatures.
Yeah, that's nice that it scales up.
And if you have Delirium, you're doing 6 to 3 creatures.
Right.
So
And it's just a source you control. Oh, non-combat. Okay. Non-combat's a little tough.
yeah, it
That's
works with lightning bolt and stuff too. Once
mhm.
you have it,
Right.
Delirium.
So the non-combat damage, I think it probably wouldn't be in Vintage Cube too much, but if you build the right deck, this does seem pretty nuts. Like I keep referring to my Kumano Master Yamabushi deck. This looks pretty sick in there. Any
Oh
way
yeah.
to pull up is sick.
All right, the next card is the Cursed Recording. It's 2 red for an artifact. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you put a time counter on it. Then, if there's 7 more time counters on it, remove it, and it deals remove those counters, and it deals 20 damage to you. But it has tap, the next instant or sorcery you cast this turn, copy it. You may choose new targets. So basically, you can copy 6 in a row, and then you got to either kill it yourself, or if you're playing Commander, I guess you could just take the 20.
Dang Commander players. Yeah, it's just the 4 mana do nothing is kind of hurts.
Yeah, you got to take a turn off, and then you got to cast like 6 more instant sorcery. I mean, you should win copying before you get to a 7. You would think if you're copying.
Yeah, that's just kind of tacked on to be funny, kind of flavorful. So I don't know. I still think it's way too slow, especially even in standard. Like you just can't take a turn off.
Is it worth playing it in Commander though?
I could see, I could see Commander. There's just so much.
I mean, that's the easiest format to just take a turn off to do something.
Yes, yeah. I think there's so much already that there's doublers that there's better stuff than this. Like they're like a 5 mana double vision. In enchantment, it's like 3 red that just does it without any downside or having to tap it. You could just keep going. I think there's so much better than this in Commander. So probably just a dud. All right, we got the Enduring Courage. 2 red for enchantment creature, Dog Glimmer. It's a 3/3. Whenever another creature you control enters, it gets +2/+0 and gains haste until end of turn. And then when it dies, if it was a creature, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. It's an enchantment. So this is you go.
This is one of the better ones, I think, of these enchantment guys.
Ogre Battle Driver. Let me see. I think that was it. Yeah, this is an old card called. That's a 4 mana. That's exactly this, but it's not the enchantment that comes back. So this is just a strictly better Ogre Battle Driver, and I play that card a lot in my decks. Like any token strategy, I played it in Locust God before. My Locusts already have haste, but like just getting +2/+0 is insane. After like a draw 7, it makes 7 1/1s. Oh, now I'm swinging for 21 damage. Like, yeah, I like.
Yeah, and it's insane because like just anything you drop down after this is just like +2/+2 haste, and then if they kill it, you still have it. Like they have to kill the enchantment side of it too.
Yeah, I love Glimmers. They're pretty intense.
So I do think this is one of the better of them.
Yeah, I can agree with that. What the black one was. Black one even have? Oh, it did.
The black one was Gain Life.
Gain Life. Okay, that one's going to combo a little bit later in Foundations. We'll get to that.
All right. Next up, we got another Leyline. Leyline of Resonance. It's 2 red for an enchantment. If it's in your opening hand, you can begin the game out with it on the battlefield. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell that targets only a single creature you control, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. So kind of a weaker Zada. It doesn't hit all of your creatures, just it's one other copy.
Yeah, but if you've seen Standard, it has a lot of cards that want Valiant, they call, and that's the top deck.
White deck.
The red-green deck. Well, it used to be red-white, but now it's red-green.
Okay.
In Standard. So this was a big deck in Worlds, and they ran this, and it's a huge card. That at this point, they've banned this card in best of ones in Arena for Standard. They haven't banned best of one cards since a long time. So this is actually a banned card. Why they only banned it best of one? Because that's where most people play, but you usually have a good sideboard against an enchantment.
Right.
So, lots of times with the green-red prowess deck, they just win game 1 because of Leyline. If you have this in your opening hand, they're going to beat you down on turn 2.
That's crazy.
It's over. Yeah. So crazy good card. It's bannable. All right, we got the Waltz of Rage. 3 red red for sorcery. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each other creature. Until end of turn, whenever a creature you control dies, exile the top card of your library. You may play it until the end of your next turn. Always important to emphasize on next turn. It doesn't hit phase, which is like my favorite part of Chandra's Ignition.
Yeah, it's like okay. Like it kills everything, and then you can draw a couple cards.
Yeah. I think that's the part where you want it's like draws a couple cards because like I don't know. There's definitely better.
You also have to have like the strongest creature in play just to make it work. Like,
That's true.
like
2 card combo.
I don't know. I think it's like medium.
When you want a board wipe, you're usually behind.
It's pretty good in like limited, but it's bad. I think otherwise.
Yeah, yeah. With an effect like this, you're usually behind where you want to play it, and this is like a win more, I guess.
Yeah, because it's like okay, well everyone's got like big stuff, so it's like I need to play like a 5/5 and then this just to like board wipe. It's like I'd rather just play like the thing
That's
that
a
deals
lot.
like 5 to everything or something.
All right.
Next up, we got the Overlord of the Boiler Bliges. I don't know. 4 red red for a 5/5 enchantment creature, avatar horror. It's a pending 4, so you can pay 4, and it enters for its impending, costs an enchantment. Get the enters trigger, and then you remove a time counter at the end of each of your turns. Or you could just pay 6 for it for the 5/5, and then when it enters or attacks, it deals 4 damage to any target. So this is the like better Inferno Titan. Minus you don't have fire breathing, but
Inferno Titan can split up the damage, so
that's true. I don't know. I think it's sweet. I've been drafting a lot of the arena cube, and they're both in there, and I've just been taking both, and it's been fucking insane.
Yeah.
So,
Now I'll have to check out that arena cube list. Seems kind of fun. I don't know. I still would pick Inferno Titan, but then Pending might change my mind. I haven't really played with the Overlords too much, but
yeah, I do like that. Like, if you just have nothing turn 4, you just do it, deal the 4,
Mhm.
and then you just wait 4 turns, and you have a 5/5.
Yeah.
Like, you keep doing that.
like Titan can rot in your hand for a while if you just can't get up to 6.
Right.
So having that option is very nice. Okay, I might
Also,
open up.
the extra point damage helps a lot.
Yeah. 4 has been very contented. Like I can see that.
Or if they're just at 4, you can just impede 4 and kill them, face them for 4.
Yeah. 4 is a lot. Like I get that. All right, we'll move on to the Charred Foyer and Warp Space, but it's a room again. Enchantment. We'll start with the Charred Foyer. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn. It's for 3 in the red. Excuse me, so 4-mana enchantment. Kind of get a card draw in a way. Then Warp Space, 4 red red to unlock this side. Once each turn, you may pay 0 rather than pay the mana cost for a spell you cast from exile. Okay. I haven't seen this one before.
You have or haven't seen this?
Have not. So.
Oh, it's mixed results in limited. I tried it, and it costs so much.
Yeah.
If you get it though, like it's like a 4 mana draw a card every turn, and then 6 mana play it for free, whatever you draw.
Yeah, I have.
If you have a whole deck of impulse draw, then the 6 mana one could be good because you could just pick one.
Yeah,
any card
that's where you want to play this.
Have to be this.
I think that's what you want to build around. Like in Commander, there's so much better.
Oh yeah, it's probably really good in Prosper, huh?
The obligatory. It's always good in Prosper. We got to say that there's at least one card good for Prosper in every set. Oh my gosh. Yeah, or like Obnix list, those types of impulse draw things. That's where you want to be. This card should shine. I think we got a lot of time. We can go on to green, I'm feeling. What do you think?
Well, let's do our segments here.
Yeah, perfect time for the segments. All right, we'll go with my jank combo. We're going to go with the Gremlin Tamer. So this is a Duskmourn card. It's white and blue for Human Scout 2/2. It's got Eerie. Whenever an enchantment you control enters, and whenever you fully unlock a room, you create a 1/1 red Gremlin creature token. One of the signposts cards, so play enchantment, unlock a room, you get a creature. But there's an old card called Enchanted Evening. This is one that you've probably known a lot for combos if you look into combos. It's 3 and then Azorius, split mana. It's enchantment. All permanents are enchantments in addition to their other types. So those 1/1 gremlins, it's an enchantment. Then it triggers off of Gremlin Tamer. She makes another gremlin. Oh, it's another enchantment. Gremlin Tamer triggers another gremlin. This goes off infinitely and actually causes the game to be a tie. You gotta have impact tremors or some way to stop it, a way to kill off your Gremlin Tamer or your Enchanted Evening, or else you're just going to tie the game. But infinite creatures, infinite enchantment ETBs. Go nuts.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. All right, my crazy card this week is City in a Bottle. It is 2 mana for an artifact. Destroy all cards from Arabian Nights, except for City in a Bottle. And while City in a Bottle is in play, no further cards from Arabian Nights can be played.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these are just silly. I feel like they had this in like every set in the beginning.
It's like 3 sets. It's like the City in the Bottle does the Arabian Nights, the Apocalypse Train is Homelands, and
there we go. Apocalypse Train.
Silex does Antiquities.
You know, like Arabian Nights cards are rare enough. You're not going to see them being played. Nobody plays Homelands cards, so Apocalypse Chime is probably the most useless card I've ever seen in Magic. These are just weird. Definitely a crazy card. Good choice.
The funny thing is it has to be Arabian Nights because it's like, what if I played a card that was reprinted from Arabian Nights? Well, it still works.
Okay, yeah, originally printed in Arabian Nights. That's funny. That's funny. Okay. Like, these early sets, too, weren't designed for draft, so I'm just imagining drafting this card and like, oh my god, you got the best card in the game. You destroy all your own stuff, too, though.
Yeah, it's not great.
Okay. That's funny. All right, yeah, I'm thinking we do green for this episode.
Sure, let's go on to green. What's the next card? Oh, I'm first?
Yeah.
All right, the first green card is a freaking insane do not pass in limited card.
Yeah.
It is XX and a green for a sorcery. Manifest Dread X times, then put X plus +1 counters on each of those creatures.
Yeah.
So for 5 mana, you get 2 4/4s.
2 4/4s, yeah. Yeah. They were also drafting in worlds like this. So the top players were drafting this, yeah. We'll win games. If you can cast this for 7, like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, you basically win the game because you get like 3 5/5s, right?
3 5/5s, GG. Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, if you got a morph deck, this seems sick, but
Yeah, in Arena, anytime I cast this for 7, the opponent would just scoop. So
I could see maybe like the Apparent Overlord, that 3 mana blue card that's a 5/5 that's hard to cast, but if you can flip that over, if you can get that underneath a Manifest Dread, that seems decent. You got cards like that, but we'll move on to the Twitching Doll. 1 in a green, artifact creature, spider toy, 2/2. Tap, add 1 mana of any color, and put a nest counter on Twitching Doll. Then you can tap, sacrifice the doll, create 2/2 green spider creature tokens with reach for each counter on the doll. Activate only as a sorcery. So no surprise blocks, but I love the art in this and the story that it tells. Like, It just looks like a doll, but if you look closer, there's a lot of spiders on that doll.
Yeah, the face is made out of spiders.
It's got a lot of them.
Um, this card is insanely good though.
Yeah.
Like just a mana dork that like picks up counters,
Hmm.
and then you can activate it. And if you're playing it outside of um, like
Limited.
limited, right? You could play this in any just like plus some slug counter deck, whatever, because it triggers for each counter on it. Not
Wow.
it doesn't have to be a nest counter.
Yeah, that's fun. Okay.
So like I've seen people play it in the like arena cube, and they just put a bunch of plus one counters on it or something,
That's
and
awesome.
it's like a 5/5, and then they're like, oh, now I get rid of it, and now I get 3/2/2s, and I'm like,
Yeah.
great.
That's actually really cool. Yeah. Interesting.
Or you could put like a flying counter on it or something, and then it'll still make it.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome.
Next up, we got Enduring Vitality. It is 1 green for a 3/3 enchantment creature, Elk Glimmer. It has Vigilance. Creatures you control have tap, add a mana of any color. When it dies, if it's a creature, return it to the battlefield. As an enchantment, it's no longer a creature. I mean, in the limited format, this is probably the weakest of them
Yeah.
because, like, who cares about making it mana? But in like a constructed format, I think this is the best of them because it's like crypto with right on a creature.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's pretty slow.
You think so? Because you
Yeah.
have three.
I think it would need to be like a specific token deck in Commander. I wouldn't put this in like a standard or modern deck, I don't
So
think.
you put it in just token commander deck.
Yeah, I think that's the only fit for this. Like it's very niche. Modern will have better two drop stuff that's just going faster than that. Vintage has Earthcraft. I don't know. I don't think there's a standard token deck. I think this is more of just a commander deck card. But I could be wrong. I don't know. This is just how I feel.
Yeah, I mean it's okay. It's decent stats. There's a 3 for a 3/3 vigilance. I don't know.
3 vigilance, yeah. I do like that. And then it can tap after your second main phase, so that seems fun. Next, we got the Hauntwoods Shrieker. 1 green for a 3/3 beast mutant. When it attacks, you manifest Dread. You can pay 1 and a green, reveal target face down permanent. If it's a creature card, just turn it face up.
So you'd think that this would be pretty good because you swing in with a 3/3 and you get to make a 2/2, but a lot of time they just block and kill it, and you get 1/2/2 back, and it's not like the greatest. It's still good and limited because you're basically 2 for 1 them. But
Yeah,
I think in the what's the commander, the morph deck, this would be
mhm,
pretty sweet because you can just flip stuff up for 2.
right. That niche morph deck, I think that would be where it shines. And then I do remember this card being hyped, and I'm going to say this is probably the most overhyped card of the set.
Yeah,
It is does not perform
it
well.
hasn't performed as good as people were hyping it up.
Yeah, yeah,
It is good, but it's not like
yeah.
super good.
Definitely overhyped. All right, next we got the Omnivorous Flytrap. 2 and a green for a 3 mana 2/4 plant creature. It's got Delirium. When it enters or attacks, if there are 4 more card types among cards in your graveyard, distribute 2+1/+1 counters among 1 or 2 target creatures. And if there are 6 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, double the number of +1/+1 counters on those creatures.
So you basically have to have delirium, or this is a 3 mana 2/4.
Yes, but if you can build that deck, like, holy crap, like
Oh,
that's
it's nuts and limited because it's super easy to get delirium in the black green deck.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, if you're building around that, you're getting 2/1/1 counters every turn basically,
So the
or
4/6 enter, then you attack,
yeah,
and becomes a 6/8.
and you can put them wherever. You don't have to put it on this.
Yeah, that is true. I'm just thinking like fail case, like that's still strong. That
Yeah,
floor.
it's very strong. This is very strong in like a 1/1 counter commander deck too.
Hmm.
Just like a 3 mana way that if you have delirium later is going to double
Yeah.
the counters.
Yeah, but the counter decks, I don't know. It'll be hard to get delirium in those decks. kind of have to like sway a different way. But
I mean, I think it's pretty easy to get 4. It's the 6 that's harder. Because like 4, I mean, you could just fetch, play a sorcery, and have a dead creature, and that's 4 already. Like,
no, it still sounds like a lot though.
I mean, that comes up through a course of a commander game, though. Like,
yeah, it'll get there, but then is stats too late? I think stats might be too late for like
yeah,
commander. I
maybe.
hate stats in commander. I'm a combo player, so I don't know.
Yeah, you don't play any fair decks like everybody
Yeah,
else. So
stats kind of suck.
next up, we got Tyvar the Pummeler. Is 1 green for a 3/3 legendary creature, Elf Warrior. It has tap another untapped creature you control. Tyvar gains indestructible until end of turn. Tap it. It has 3 green creatures you control get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. So mini overrun.
Mm-hmm.
This has basically pseudo indestructible. People on Arena keep forgetting that it has that ability, and you don't know how many times I've seen people block this with a 3/3, and then you just tap your other creature, give it indestructible, and they lose their 3/3.
Yeah.
So people don't realize that it basically has indestructible.
Yeah, the tap it part, like if he's already tapped,
Right.
it doesn't like negate it because it's just you tap a tapped creature.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a strong card. Definitely.
It's very good in elves, I think.
Yeah, being an elf, just that overrun ability, even if it's
I mean, it
mini.
doesn't give trample, but it's still good.
Yeah, I guess that is true.
Like, I'd almost rather just have overrun, but it's good if you like, if no cards in hand, you could just pay your mana into it.
Yeah, like I don't know if like Commander really clogs up anymore. Everybody has like these. I don't know. It's getting more focused in my play group. I guess I don't know. Where I don't think trample is as important.
That's true. I mean, if you're going wide, trample ain't matter that much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just if you have like 10 tokens and they're all 5/5s, it's gonna be good enough.
All right, we got the Hedge Shredder. 2 green for a 5/5 vehicle artifact. When it attacks, you mill 2, and then whenever one or more land cards are put into your graveyard from your library, put them into the battlefield tapped. So all of them into the battlefield tapped. Crew 1. Pretty insane. Slotted this into Sidisi. Haven't played it yet, but it's going to be a banger in that deck.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. I mean, because just playing it and you can just keep it out as an enchantment if you want, not even use the creature part.
Mm-hmm.
And just like, oh, I'm going to keep milling cards and I'm going to keep getting lands into play.
Yeah. Pretty insane. It's definitely, I don't think like standard good. It's probably too slow playing a 4 mana do nothing.
Yeah,
but like
it's not that good in like, it's okay in limited because the best place for it's the green white deck, but that's like the worst deck of the format. So.
Yep. Yeah. I did see that. Yeah.
Next up, we got Kona, the Rescue Beastie. It is 3 and a green for a 4/3 legendary creature, Beast Survivor. It has survival. At the beginning of your second main phase, if it's tapped, you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield.
Banger.
So I think this is good if you have other ways to tap it other than just attacking. So if you
Oh yeah.
All those tap untap dudes.
Yep. I mean, if you're playing this in Commander, like we were saying, Earthcraft is a good one. Just any sort of tap. I don't know, Tyvar, what we were just looking at.
Mm-hmm.
It's a decent one. Just putting out Eldrazi or giant things like Old Gnawbone or whatever.
Yeah.
It's pretty nuts.
Big mono green things. All you gotta do is tap it.
Springleaf Drum, you can tap him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, seems like a banger of a card. And as a commander, you are playing mono green though, so that really hinders this.
There's a lot of big stuff in mono green.
But yeah, Still seems like a contender. Like this seems like a crazy good card. Now in limited, I don't think you got big creatures. Like if you get the Overlord, maybe, but it seems pretty bad.
Yeah, it's been like okay in limited. I've never like I've seen it work one time like super well where
Mhm.
they're just like Valgavoth,
That's
and then you're
okay.
like, all right, I'm dead.
Okay, the
But
dream happened. The
let's
dream.
give it dream. But otherwise, it's like they put like a 4/4 in. You're like, okay,
Yeah,
we paid 4 mana,
at
whatever.
best. Yeah. Yeah, it seems pretty bad there. But hey, Commander seems like a real contender. And next we got the Leyline of Mutation. 2 green green for enchantment. If it's in your opening hand, begin the game with it on the battlefield. You may pay Wooburg rather than pay the mana cost for spells that you cast.
Well, if you already play Fist of Suns or the
Mm-hmm.
was it the Joda? I guess here's another effect for you.
Ramos, where you remove 5 counters and you get double Wooburg.
Yeah,
You get to cast 2 spells for free. Yeah.
yeah.
Now, if you're playing a Ramos deck, that seems pretty sick. Other than that, this seems hard to do.
I don't think we're playing it outside of that kind of deck though.
No, yeah, that seems pretty hard to do. Like, what you maybe get like an omniscience, or I don't know, like what do you, one spell out of like your 50 spells that you're trying to get to. Yeah,
Right.
that seems horrible.
Next up, we got the Balustrade Worm. It's 3 green green for a 5/5 worm. Can't be countered. Has trample and haste. And then if you have Delirium, you could pay 4 and just bring it back to the battlefield with a finality counter.
Another banger.
It's a good worm.
This is good in standard. I saw it being played in standard a bit. If you could just mill into it, 4 mana is pretty easy. Haste, 5/5, trample. That's all you want.
Yep.
Just solid stats. Next, we got the Overlord of the Hauntwoods, the final one that we've talked about. 3 green green for enchantment creature, Avatar Horror, 6/5. Impending 4 for 1 green green, so 3 mana. And then when it enters or attacks, create a tapped colorless land token name everywhere. That is every basic land type.
Yep. I mean, it's pretty good. You just make a land every time it enters or attacks.
Mm-hmm. Landfall triggers. Eventually, you'll just be able to cast your entire hand. Like
Taps for any color, so if you're playing it in a multicolor deck, it's fine.
any sort of theft effects too, you'll be able to cast whatever you need. This was in one of the top 8 decks was running this, and they were running beanstalks, or what I think it's beanstalks, whatever that 2
Yeah,
mana.
the beanstalk that draws you cards.
Just remember when you impend these things, their mana value is still their top one. So if you use mana drain against them after impending it, you still get the full 5 mana on this one or whatever it is. So beans triggers off of this being you play beans on 2, you play this guy 3, you draw a card.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, next we got another room. Last room we're going to talk about here. Well, until we get to multicolor next week.
Mhm.
So we got Walk-In Closet. It is 2 and a green for an enchantment room. You may play lands from your graveyard, so it's a green Crucible.
Mhm.
Or Forgotten Cellar is 3 green green. When you unlock this door, you may cast spells from your graveyard this turn, and if a card would be put into your graveyard from anywhere this turn, exile instead. So you can kind of Yawgmoth's Will.
Yep. Yawgmoth's Will, Crucible World.
But I mean, it costs 5 for that, so you need a lot of mana that turn because you have to pay the mana still.
Yeah, but when you're yogging, it's like you're already doing rituals and stuff, so
Yeah, but you're in green. Like,
yeah,
that's why like the rituals are not usually in green. It's usually black.
not usually. Yeah, yeah. We have been testing this out in Vintage Cube, which the walk-in closet part, the Crucible Worlds, you're automatically in green. Like that, I haven't seen. It works out the same, but I still haven't seen anybody pull off the Forgotten Cellar, so I don't know if it's been worth it
It's
yet.
kind of like another Crucible with upside. Like,
Yeah, so I don't know if it's worth it putting in like having that green cost. Maybe we just go to 3 colorless back to an artifact with Crucible Worlds, but I don't know. when you're playing the land stack, you're in green, so
Yeah.
that hasn't been a problem.
All right. Well, that is all of the cards. What do you think of the set so far?
Yeah, like I keep saying, this set is like been the best one I think of the year. They really like set it off with a banger. Like I said before,
I think it's okay.
yeah,
I'm excited to play the cards in. Like, I have to need to play some more Commander. I haven't played Commander in a while.
yeah, yep.
But I'm excited to play the cards in like different formats because just
Mhm.
being limited, I'm kind of already sick of it and ready for the next one, which is coming out
Sure,
soon. But
sure. Definitely was one of the better limiteds, though. I still have to
yeah,
say.
it was definitely better to draft and more fun than Bloomborough. I think the Bloomborough games are a little better, but
Okay,
the draft was way
sure.
more interesting in the Duskmourn because there's a lot
Yeah,
more
yeah.
things you can do.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Whereas Bloomborough was just draft the rabbits, like so it's kind
Yes.
of boring and draft, but the games were okay,
Yep.
All
What
right.
did Yep.
If you like any of these cards, remember you can pick them up using our TCG Player affiliate link, which can be found in the show notes and on our website, mtgplace.net.
You can help support the show at patreon.com, where we have different tiers of involvement to get you different perks. Also, if you want to come talk to us, hang out with us on Discord. We're lurking there all the time.
Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to be notified of all our videos and podcasts when they're released. Thanks for listening. Bye, everybody.
Peace.